Hello, guys. You are welcome to today's session on Read with Genius on the High Court of Poetry. My name is Abdul Hakim Genius, and today we have a very special poem for you titled I Think It Rains. It Rains is a poem written by a renowned poet, dramatist, educationist, that is Nigeria's renowned writer Wole Soyinka. And you all know he has a history in writing, undertook his studies at the Ibadan University and later proceeded to University of Leeds. And Prof. Soyinka is one of the world's satirical writer and one that is so much using his art to talk about Africa, even though in his works you may not see it directly portrayed. He's done so much for the world of literature. He has done so much for Pan-Africanism as well, and embracing poetry and writing in general. He's also a dramatist, so which means that he writes drama, and he's written for several generations. Most of us have grown up to meet him, and he's still in the system. So I want us today to read one of his poems, I Think It Rains. And in this video, you follow me as we do the reading together. I think it rains. I think it rains, that tongues may loosen from the patch, and cleave rooftops of the mouth, hang heavy with knowledge. I saw it raise the sudden cloud from ashes, settling. They join in a ring of grey within the circling spirit. Oh, it must rain these closures on the mind, binding us in strange despairs, teaching purity of sadness, and how it beats skin transparencies on wings of our desires, searing dark longings in cruel baptisms. Rain wreaths practiced in the grace of yielding, yet unbending from afar. This, your conjugation with my earth, bears crouching rocks. So that is the poem, I Think It Rains. And this is one of the most difficult poems of Soyinka that requires your imaginative sensory organs all together to put into ease reading before you be able to understand the poem. You understand that the poem is very difficult as Soyinka uses symbolic figure to shroud the idea that he wants to portray in the poem. But before we continue to give an analysis of the poem, structurally, you see that the poem has been written in 5 stanzas. The poem has been written in 5 stanzas, and each stanza is made of 4 lines. So at the end, we have a total of 20 lines in the poem. Now, you should be able to see the parallels, associations of the literary devices that Soyinka has used. Now, I think it rains from the heading or the title of the poem. Rain, that is the symbolic figure he has used there. So he narrates the burden, the worries, the despairs that he has in his life. And so the rain has been used, as myself and you know, as a figure of speech that depicts hope, that depicts restoration of calmness, of serenity to someone. So whenever clouds hang and we see rains forming to come, then that's where people get to be happy. That is when the lands will turn fresh, vegetation will grow on the surface of the soil, and the environment, if it was warm, it will turn cold. So rain comes with fortunes, rain comes to give us greater delight. And so he uses the rain to symbolize what he deems as his redemption that will come to take away his worries and pains. Now, from lines 2 to line 3, that tongues may loosen from the patch and cleave rooftops of the mouth hang. So it is a condensed metaphor that he has used there. And when you look at the first portion of it, where he says that tongues may loosen from the patch. Now, patch means dry. So now, when a tongue is dry, it means that when this rain comes, it will quench the mouth, so that the tongue will no longer be dry. So that means that it will give you salivation, where you will be able to get water to drink, and you'll be quenched from your thirst. So here he used a condensed metaphor to bring you to what he wants to say. The poet is saying that rain releases the tank, which is a deal for you in terms of what? Hunger and thirst. Now, he also says that when the rain comes, now the rain is something that will come with his hopes, his aspirations, and by that, when the rain comes, it washes away all his sorrows. Now, in line 10, these closures on the mind, binding us in strange despair, teaching purity of sadness. So here, Soyinka actually takes us to his worries, his problems, these closures. And when we talk of closure, something that is enclosed, so that means that his worries, they encircle him at one place where he can't get himself freed, where he can't access the outside world to explore more and redeem himself from his current state. So now, line 12, the purity of sadness, and that is how come the problem come. That is the essence of his sadness. Why is he sad? Because he has been enclosed. He has been enclosed on the mind. That means that the mind is full of many thoughts, of worries, of sorrows, which he cannot understand, and which makes it difficult for him to explore more. So when we go to the fourth stanza, and how it beats skin transparencies on wings of our desires, sharing dark longings in cruel baptisms. So that means that he is confused, and but then when a rain, the transparency here is used to signify the rain. When the rain is coming, you and I know very well that the rain water is colorless, and so what happens is that the rain comes in this orderly manner into the ground. Now, when they fall on the wings of our desires, now when the rain falls on our desires, it gives us life. It is a way of imagining how you want to free your spirit from the shackles of oppression, from sorrows, and all setbacks in your life. Now, when the rain comes, the rain is supposed to be something that sparks your imagination, that sparks your ambitions, and that. Now, he uses a paradox, searing dark longings, searing dark longings, a paradoxical expression. So the rain is expected to cool and sear anything. So when it rains, I told you from the beginning that the rain comes forth with some form of cold, said that when it was warm everywhere, it will bring you what? Serenity, it will bring you what? Calmness, it will bring you cold, said that you live and you can think very well. Now, when the rain comes, it reduces the what? The saturation, the atmospheric temperature, the pressure, everything. So when this rain comes, it acts as something that kind of takes away or washes away all the worries that are confronting him. That is why he says that bears crouching rocks. So the rain, when it comes down, now it splashes on the rocks, and the rocks begin to chip off. You see rock chipping off as a result of the pressure from the rain. So similarly, the problems that he has, when this rain comes, it is able to wash down all that uh, is worrying him, all that he's referring to as the sorrow, the sadness that he has. Now, from afar, this your conjugation with my earth. So it's a sexual image where my earth actually refers to the physical earth and that of the what? The poet. So he's talking about his whole environment, his space where he's thriving well. So when this rain comes, the rain is something that would come forth and bring life to him. So this is just a short and brief explanation of the poem I Think It Rains. So it's a symbolic poem that Wole Soyinka uses to express the sorrows, the bad fortunes in his life. Now the rain that he is thinking of is supposed to come in a form of redemption for him against all the shackles of life, the oppression, the sadness, the sorrow, the despair. So if you are watching this, if you are currently facing difficulty in your life, then don't lose hope. Keep on dreaming that you are going to be a better person, that your day is coming, and when it eventually comes, you are going to be a greater person. Thank you so much for spending time with us on Read with Genius on the High Court of Poetry. You can follow us on Facebook at the High Court of Poetry, and you can follow us on Twitter at the High Court of Poetry. Our email is the High Court of Poetry at gmail.com. Also, don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section so that we'll enjoy this together. Also, if you wish to join our community of readers, kindly link up with us on 0555782209. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.